whenever you come to the SPSS, you can also do that Wilcoxon, whatever the Wilcoxon is there, man Whitney is there, whatever the test which has been over there, that you can also perform all those things also in SPSS very easily. Okay, just I give the data here. Just what I'm doing is that just I need to count. What is count is that count whatever the elements are there, whatever number of elements. If you want to find the number of elements, then you need to use the function called count is equal to count, and even you need not to type these functions also. See, when you are pressing C, there are many number of options are there. Even you are pressing COU, you have seen something called count function over there. Just click on tab option, tab button, whatever the tab button which is there on your keyboard, just press on tab option. Automatically the formula will be open there with a braces open, known as parentheses. We call parentheses or braces. Parentheses will be open over there. Just it is asking to give the values. See, value 1, value 2, what are the values you are going to take. Just select the select the number by pressing on the mouse. So by selecting the mouse, and you need to select from C2. It is the C2 address, from C2 address bar to C11. C2 cell to C11, and you need to close the braces. You need to close the braces. Then only the equation will be carried out. Okay. Then press on enter. You will see the count 10. See the count 10. You can count it also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why I'm doing is that, sir, what is the purpose of doing is that if you are working on more than 200, 300 variables, then at that time you will be able to work on you will be able to see this. And also if there is any missing value, also, if I'm missing here values, I'm missing here value. Then if I do this count, and if I'm doing this, see what I'm getting, 8 only. If there is any number, is there in the columns, in the cells, then only it will be validated. If not, it will not be taken into consider. Just I'm pressing 0 here. See, it is changing. The count is moving out to 10. It means you should not be any null values. There should not be any null values or empty values. There should not be any null values or empty values in the cells in order to calculate the count in the Excel. Not only in Excel, not only in the count function, everywhere. Null value should not be null value. If null values is given, it won't be considered for the consideration. Then I can also expand this. By dragging this. Yesterday we have seen this. By just drag this, just hold by the mouse button and just drag this, so that we'll apply the same changes. See this. Now you can see this. It is 10 E12 to E11. Then we can see this is the count of 12 to E11. E2 to E11 is a value we are going to take. Then sorry, I have not pressed the enter button. Just enter. You can press on enter button. See, now you can see the mean. What is the mean? You are going to see the mean is the average of the numbers. The mean is the average of the numbers you are going to see, and directly you are not going to give as a mean. We need to give as average here. Just is equal to averge, just open the braces and select the number ranges. What are the number ranges you are asking? Just I am selecting from here 56 to all the 10 variables, and just closing the variables, and also just pressing on enter. I'll get the mean value. This is a mean value is 35.2. How we are going to calculate the mean numbers is that total, known as the sum total divided by number of elements. Sum total divided by the number of elements. You can also check what is whether it is actually correct or not, whether this formula is correct or not. We can also check. How you are checking is that just press on, I'm just selecting this, and also I'm pasting here, and I want to calculate the sum of numbers. Sum of numbers is equal to, yes, you can sum. It means addition. You cannot give the add function here. You can use the sum function here. Selecting the range from G2 to G11, and just press on enter. You will get 352. And what are the number of elements? Count is 10. It means 352 divided by 10. You will get around 35.2. You can see this. Either is equal to 352 divided by 10. You can get 35.2 is the average mean. What you are going to get, the average mean is the same. The mean formula is number of a total number, sum total of the given variables divided by the number of variables. Then sum total is 352 divided by 10 is equal to 35.2. You can drag this, you'll get the same variables, same type of functions will also be getting over there. You can count, you can also say this is an average of E2 to E11. What about median? What about median? Median is the middle value. Generally, we get a median as a middle value. It means we take the frequency, we write in the ascending order or descending order. Then we see from smallest to largest or largest to smallest, and we'll see the middle number, and middle number will round the middle number, and we'll see it as median. Same way here also, median, median, and now you can take this and click on enter. Then the middle value is 31.5. Then what is that 31.5 is that when you write in an ascending order, descending order, say this, what I'm doing is that I'm copying here and I'm pasting here. I'm making them to sort. Sorting means making it an order, sorting from smallest to largest. No, we'll continue with the current selection. Here see, it is asking expand the selection means totally with the whole page should be make it as ascending or descending order, or only you continue with the current selection. I continue with the current selection. It means that I want only those cells to be sorted. Then see 10, 15, 26, 27, 28, 35, and this is what how we are sorted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the average will be the median number. How we are calculating the average means that we leave the upper boundary 4 and we leave the lower boundary 4. Why? Because middle value, it's an even case, it's an even number case, because then we calculate the sum of 25 and 35. Sum of 28 and 35 will get and divided by 2. We'll make it divided by 2. And what I'm doing 28 and 35, and I'm making sum of 28 and 35. 28 and 35, then 63 and 63 divided by 2, 31.5. See, I got the same answer. 31.5. Generally, whatever the procedure you follow in your textbooks in form of the statistics or the quantitative techniques, then you follow the same. When it's an even number of variables are there, even number of frequencies are there, what you do is that you leave the fourth and sixth, first four and last, and you'll see the middle numbers. You take the middle numbers and you'll count the numbers. You'll sum the numbers and divide by 2 the middle number. Why? Because if it's an odd number, if there are 9 series, you will see the fifth one as the odd one and you will take the series. No problem. But if it's an even number case, you need to take this type of measures. Okay, then you can also apply for the same things. 24 and 26 will get. Then what about the mode? Mode value we cannot give for the only one variable. It means that only one frequency distribution is given. You cannot calculate the mode. Just see, even the mode also same formula, but if you take like this and just press on the mode value cannot be calculated because it gives some interpretation between the relationship. Not only the required thing is that only one variable is not required. We require more variables. Two level of series is required. And now you can take this and see the mode is 0 we are getting. What you need to do is MODE, and then first one as first series, then keep a comma, and the second series, and then press on enter, then you will get the mode 35, because we need to compare between x and y, and then y and z, and also z and x, then only we'll calculate the mode. Here if you drag this, see, if you drag this, then you will get 25. And what is this 25 is D and E. But if you can't drag, you can't drag this here, because you cannot get an appropriate value, because this is considering this cell and this cell. Whereas F is an empty cell, we are calculating F. For this, if you want to compare, you need to go for the X and Z. For that, we need to just see this. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the cell rows. I want E is okay for me. Then I want here C. It means C. You can see this is a portion which has been highlighted. C portion is been highlighted, and just come to the end and press on enter button. You will get also their mode. And next, from among the minimum value, we have sorted. We have got the 10 as a minimum value, and the maximum value is 59. Then same we'll get over here also. Minimum, MINI, mini. Okay, then you can sort this. Then close the button and click on enter. You will get the 10 as a minimum value. Just you can drag this. 0 is the minimum value. 0 is there over here. That's why we are getting the 0 as minimum value. Here the 14. Don't consider this. Why? Because these are the other things. Above only these are the elements which has been considering. 10 is the The 14 is the minimum number here. That's why the 14 is the minimum number. Then coming to the maximum number, MAX. Minimum is MIN, maximum is MIX. Then max, just close the address and see 59 is the maximum. See, you can also see here 59 is the largest number. What you have got, is 59 is the largest number. When you are sorted from small to big, you have got the 59 is the same number. We can also apply the same to the other cells also by dragging it. We can also verify this. See, from among this, which is the biggest number? 54 is the biggest number. Easily you can identify and easily you can recognize it. 54 is the biggest number. Then from this cell, which is the biggest number? You can say this 45 is there, then 36 is there, 35 is there. Then 45 is the thing. 45 is the number which is the biggest number. That's why we got the maximum number as 45. And sometimes also we get something is called square root of a number. Square root of a number. We call it as a square root of a number itself. Why we are saying that we cannot give a square root for a multiple numbers at a time. We give only a square root for a particular number. And for what number we are going to do that? Either the maximum number or the minimum number, or whatever the digit you have. Whatever the digit you have, you can give the square root function as SQRT. SQRT square root. Open the braces. Select any number. You can select any number. No need to have anything. Just I am selecting this cell and just press on this. The square root is 7.68. Is 59 is 7.68. You can also just compare this. What I am doing is that just only the square root. How we are going to calculate is the square root is that 7.68115 into 7.68115. What you get? 59 is exact square root. Means square root is double multiplying the same number. Multiplying the same number is what the square root is. Then I'm multiplying the same number and I'm getting the same responses here also 59.6. And even I'll also show you one more thing is that is equal to SQRT of 36 I square. I give 36. Just press on enter. See, we are getting. Even you can give the number directly also, or the cell which has the number. Cell which has the number. Just give the cell address over there. Also, you'll get the same thing. You have the choice. You have the choice of selecting yourself. You have this choice of yourself. Then which number you need to select and what number you have to select. You have the choice of that. That's why is equal to SQRT. Then either you can find the cell address. You can find the cell address, or directly you can give the number also. Just I'm giving the number 125. Then 11.1803. Then I'm checking it once again. 11.1803 into 11.1803. 1803. Then I'm getting 124.999 is around a rounding figure as 125. 125 is a rounding figure. See, this is what how we are going to see the square root. And what is this today? What is this today is that the today is that is the date function. Date function, what you are going to do is that date function. If you want to find the today's date in your Excel sheet, if you want to find Excel sheet in the Excel sheet, then we can go for this today function. Today function, you can also take it to the today function. Guys, just a minute. I'll be back. Just a minute. 2 minutes.
Okay, meanwhile, students, have you registered for the tomorrow's webinar?
Yes, ma'am, have registered.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay, those who have not registered, do register today, ma'am. Okay, and tomorrow sharp at 10:30, the session will be started. So join before 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, sure,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry for the interruption.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Then if you want to find the today, what is today? The date. If you want to find the today's date, also we can use this function called today function is equal TODAY and just leave the parentheses empty. Leave the parentheses empty. It means open the brace and close the brace. No need to enter anything. No need to enter anything and also click on enter. Then you will get the date. And the date format will be as ever what you are following in your system. In your system, you are following month, date, year. It follows the same date, month, date, year. If you are following date, month, year, DDMMYY, will follow the same date. Whatever the date displaying in your system, the same date will be displaying also here. Okay. Then regarding to some more, we have seen something about the measures of central tendency first. Mean, median, mode is the central tendency. Then coming to dispersion or any other things more than that, what you are going to do is that we can go for variance, standard deviation, and also correlation. These are the three things which comes under one category. Then this higher end test, statistical test will comes also for the different category. First, variance is a very thing is that to identify the variances between the given numbers, to identify the variances between differences between the given numbers, just open the parenthesis and give the number range. Just give the number range. Only the thing is that giving the number range that it's very easy to give the number range. It's not an easy to give the number range, but which test need to be applied, which statistical tool need to be applied is the basic thing which need to be identified. The basic thing is that you need to apply which test, which test you need to be applied and what type of things you need to be upload. Then only you will be able to solve. Unless you cannot be able to do these things very easily. That was the major thing we need to be identified. And then comes, then you can just drag this also. Okay. Next, standard deviation. Standard deviation of a number. The standard deviation of a number is very different, which gives a deviation, which gives a deviations among the given variables, which gives among variables. And for this, we can also make the deviations between x variable and y variable. We can also compare the standard deviation between two variables or within one row of elements known as one x variable. If you want to find the deviations between the x variables, you can also find between the x variables. What you have is standard deviation. The formula for standard deviation is that STDEV. STDEV. Okay. Then open the braces and here directly you can select the range and you can close the braces and also click on enter. The standard deviation between the numbers is that 16.93. You can also make it physically done. Physically also can compare. You will get the same thing. But when you are pressing here, see, when you are pressing here STDEV, what you are getting is that see, STDEV-A, also we are getting some STDEV-A known as average, STDEV-P known as for population, it is for population, STDEV population average also. No need, just we manually do the standard deviation, whatever the standard formula, what you are going to see for the standard formula regarding the standard in your statistical books is STDEV. If you want to go for a higher end population, known as if the sample size is more, if we are carrying a total population, and then at that time you can also go for the STDVP. Okay, and average also you can do. You can also average. You can also give the average also. Just see, it is almost displays the same. It is almost displays the same. No problem in that also. It's an average. Make the average of all those things, and also you can compare the things. Even STDEV, and we are giving like this. I'm making this as a one component as x and one component is of y, sorry, y and z, and closes the braces and also gives. Then this value 14.5764 is comparing the differences between the deviation between the y variables and also z variables. What is the differences between the y variables and the z variables? What about the 16 and 1693 is showing is that only the between one frequency, one identified variable between the y only, what is the identified differences is saying. But here in this, what I have done is I am making the differences between two ranges known as one x variable and also one y variable. So that also if you want to interpret the data, while interpreting the data, you can also assume that by applying the standard deviation to know the differences between the variances, differences between the number variables which has been identified, then it was observed that 14.567 percentage, 14.567 is the identified standard deviation, which is lesser, not more than that. It is 16 is more when compared to the 14 is lesser only. Then no problem. You can also say that it's a very good, not only good, it's also best. We'll get 40, 50, 60 also. I've taken random numbers over there, but I've got that. Even when you're writing something observations, you're writing some observations is that after first day of training what is the improvement, after second day of training what is the improvement, at that time you'll write only the mean differences. You'll get a minimum differences. At that time the deviation will be very small, so that also you can measure the standard deviation very easily. And then comes the correlation. What is a correlation? What is correlation? Correlation explains something about the relationship between the two lines. Even the two lines or two arrays, we call it as arrays. So array 1, array 2. What is array 1? What is array 2 is that x is a variable called array, x array, and the y array also we are going to take this as y array. You need to insert a comma. It means that this is a separate variable and that is a separate variable. If you take all together, it will not be a good thing. Just press on enter. See the correlation. The relationship between is a negative relationship. You'll see that correlation means positive correlation, negative correlation, zero correlation. Then here we are getting the negative correlation between the given two variables. Why? Because just you can see this. There is 27 and there is 0. How can you expect a correlation? There is 46 and there is 0. You can't expect some correlation. It is 10 and 54. Cannot expect. If there is some variables which are almost equally done, say this, I'll make this 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then what I'll do here 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If I calculate CORREL correlation between the first variable, comma, the second variable, then just close the braces and press the enter. What is the correlation? It's a perfect and positive correlation. Perfect and also positive correlation. One is a perfect and positive correlation. What it says that there is no such deviation. There is no such deviation. There is a perfect and positive correlation between the given variables. Then one shows that. Then here it is showing that here it is we are showing it's a higher, it is a minus. It means that very differentiated minus levels. You should not go for the negative quadrant. Negative, we are entering into the negative quadrant, but there is no such proper relationship cannot be established over there because the numbers are very much deviated. Even if you change the numbers, see if you change the numbers as 15, 14, 13, 15, see automatically the correlation will also be changed because we have applied the formula for the given columns, not on the numbers. We applied on the basis of the column addresses. Whatever the values you are going to change, if you change it to 99, see it is entering to the negative. Why? Because the differences between the 99 and 14 is very much higher. They should not be that much higher values. If it is higher, then the values will be the negative, it enters into negative quadrant. If it is 101, see it is differentiating from negative 7 to from positive 9. Why? It is only differentiating by only two numbers, means only one number is left over between them. Then we want to establish some relationship. Correlation is what establishing the relationship and also identifying. Then basing on the numbers also you can identify what will be the relationship. If there is a number differences, if the number differences is very much far and distinct, then you can expect either higher and correlation or the negative correlation also. If not, you can also go for the positive correlation. If you get one, it's a perfect correlation. No need to judge on that. No need to write anything on that. It's a perfect correlation. There is no way any such differences in the given variables is the correct way of interpreting. This is what a correlation. Just also I can here just CORREL open the braces and I'm writing the correlation. I'm making correlation for Y and then I go for the Z. Then I go for the closing of the braces. Just press on enter. See it is 0.4812. Why I have got 0.4812 is that see 0 is 14, 0 and 14. There are very not more than, if when compared to the 27 it is half, it is halfway. 0 and 46 is very far and 0 and 15 somewhat lesser. The deviations are very lesser when compared to the 46 and 0 to 15. That's why we have entered in the positive content and also we have got some positive correlation. When we see a correlation for Z and X, known as X and Z or Z or X, see what happens here. I'm taking the X variables and I'm taking the Z variables. Then I'm closing the braces and just pressing on the enter. See it is minus. See you also see this 10, 26, 15, 25, 26, 36. Where you have got differences is that everywhere you have got some differences. And that's why it's also getting. Not is a minimum. If it is a minimum differences, easily you can get over that because 0.04, only 0.04 from positive to negative you are entered only this small little bit of portion to the negative quantities, means there are very little bit of even it is less than 0.05 also. It means below the level of significance also, then we can consider it and also we can go for the establishing the relationship between the things. Okay, this is what you can do here. But still we have the test called t-test, chi-square and ANOVA. We can do the t-test, chi-square and ANOVA in two forms. By enabling an adding function to the Excel sheets, or manually using the existing functions. Manually using the existing functions. Generally, first I do making the things manually is equal to T T E S T is a t-test formula. I'll send the same sheet over to you, no problem. I'll send whatever the sheet I'm doing. I'll share the same sheet to you. Then you can find the formulas. Even what I have done is I have made it. Even if you missed out the things, also make it unhide. There I have hided a cell. See, I've done all the calculations here and also I made a hidden cell. Even because if you have deleted the cell also, you can go for the checking the answers. That's why I removed this, remove it, and also I made it hidden. Then also if you after sending the file, you can also unhide it and also you can check the values also. Is equal to TTEST. What is t-test actually? T-test gives some values differentiation value. Is there any significant differences between the given variables or among the variables? Then we are going to find using the t-test. And what t-test values is that we are going to compare the table value with the critical values. Means whatever the calculated value we got, we compare with the table value. If it is less, we say that accept null hypothesis. We say that if it is more, we say that reject null hypothesis. You keep it aside. We are going to get the only the table value. We are going to get the calculated value. Whatever the calculated value, what we are going to get in the t-test, we are going to get here. But we need four things for this. First one is array one, known as first variable. The second one is second variable, and third one is tails. Single tile test. It means one tile test or two tile test. Then the second one is that type. You can see this. It is asking the same array one, array two, tails, and also type. See, just what you are going to say is that array one is this x1, x, and the array two is y. Then I'm going for the one tile test, single tile test. Then when come to the type, it is asking for the type. What is type actually? It means whether to give the exact value, whether they have some any things called whatever any mean errors, 0.05% of errors is there, any such significance values or the level of significance is there. If you have that things, you can also go for typing. Either you can give for 1 or 0. If there is any zeros and if there is 1, you can give this. Either you can give 0, then you will get, you don't get, sorry, 1, you get 1. False or true will be then worst one, and the second one, the single tile test also first type. Then you'll get 0.193. And 1 is an approximate method and 2 is a false method. 2 or false, 1 and 2. They can use 1 and 2. 2 also you can use, and I'll make the same thing for the t test here with the 2, taking the 2. Just see this. Comma, one tile test and also 2. See the differences we are going to get. It is when you are making an appropriate values, we are going to get the t-test as 0.13. When you are making a round figures and also you are going to calculate, then you will get 0.11452. True is 1 and false is 2. And true you can take 1 and say values and also you can do. And even you cannot extract this. You cannot drag this. If you drag this, you'll get only for one variable. See, these two is okay. Why? Because y and z we are going to compare is okay. When you drag these also for the last variable also, then you will not be able to get the values. Why? Because there are no such there are no such values over here. That's why we not get the values over here. Just select the variables. If E is okay, then we need to go for C. C2 to C11. Now just press on enter, you will get the t-test value. T-test value. Only this is an independent single tile test. If you want a two tile test, you can keep 2 over there, and 2 comma 1 is enough. 2 comma 1. We'll see that also. T test with array 1 is here and array 2 is here, and 2 tile test and 1 is closed, and also you'll get this. See, when you are going for the 2 tile, means 2 different tiles and 2 is taken as independent and also independent variables, and we have taken things called, when you are taking 2 tile test, we are going to get the 0.278. When you are making 2 different variables analysis of 2 different variables, you can go for 2 tile test. If you are taking the same elements, it means if you are taking something about the training and development, 2 elements of same training and development, then you can go for single tile test. If you are making the analysis of 2 variables, one is from different variable and one is from different variable, these are considered as 2 different things, and also you can go for the 2 tile test over there. Then what is 0.278, and you compare to 0.278 with the table value. We have some statistical tables over there in your textbook, and you can compare the values. If it is less, accept the null hypothesis. If it is more, reject the null hypothesis, because there are significant differences. Significant, if there are significant differences, then you need not to accept. If there is no such significant differences are there, if there is no such significant difference are there, the table value will be less than, the calculated value will be less than the table value. Also, I'll send that whatever the statistical analysis, whatever the things required for the t-test and also chi-square test and over, have made it a material separately, and I'll send the notes at the end of the day by after completion of this session also. It means what are the theoretical background, theoretical aspects required for the t-test, for applying the t-test and also chi-square test and also ANOVA and all the different tests, whatever the things are there, I'll also send those. Then the important what I need to do is that the important thing is the thing which need to be considered here is that regarding chi-square test, when you compare this, when you do this chi, we are getting these many things called chi-distribution, chi-square distribution, and chi-square uh, test. This is a test actually. This is a chi-square test. NV is not considered, DIST is not considered, only TEST, known as chi-square distribution. And what is chi-square distribution actually? We call, some people call chi, we people call chi, CH. For chi-square test analysis, what we are going to do is that we compare two things called observations, expectations. Observations and also expectations. What are the expectations we are going to get, and what are the observations what we are going to? It is the differences between O minus E square. O minus E. In formula also what you write is O minus E whole square divided by O minus E is a chi-square test formula what you are going to write. It means that we need two variables. We need two variables. One as one is observations and the second one is expectations. Then what I have taken is that x, I am taking the x as one variable and the y is one variable. Okay. Then I have taken the chi-square test, I have opened the cells and I am selecting the ranges as x as 1, known as actual range. This is actual range, and the second one is expected range. Then I can close the parenthesis and I can click on the chi-square test. But I'm not going to get this because the differences is very higher. Just I'll give you a small example that if you are taking the analysis of, if your analysis making analysis 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 and 17, 18, 15, 18. These are some mean scores average obtained by the persons for 20 marks. These are for 20 marks. And the average mark is only 10, because out of 20 the average mark is only 10. Then these are the expectations, minimum expectations, and these are the observed, known as actual frequencies. These are actual marks gained. These are expected marks. Then for this, if you do this, CIHIST, childist, open the braces and select the range, and then degrees of freedom. What is degrees of freedom? Degrees of freedom is n minus 1. Just identify the number. Just identify the number. What is n is n minus 1. What is n minus 1? Sorry. We are doing for the chi test now. We are doing for the chi test. CHEST. Then chi test. Then taking the one, and second one is variable, and just close the bases, and we are going to get the chi-square. The difference is similar. Why? Because these are the expectations. What are the expectations? The minimum pass mark is 35 marks or 40 marks. The expectations will be the same range. Expectations will be given in the same range. Then observations will be different and expectations will be different. You can expect your range. You can expect your range, and what are your expectations you can range, and you will be getting some actual things. And if you want to maintain, if you want to identify the differences between the actual expectations and also observations, then you can use this type of test, chi-square test. If you want to find only the differences between one element, known as one column, for one column, no, some people will do that. Statistics is been done by the machine. You can, whatever the things you will be giving, then it will give some results. But appropriate test, applying an appropriate test is only the best example. And applying only the chi-square test where there are two types of responses for the same question. When you have two types of responses for the same question, then you can apply the chi-square test. But some people will also apply for only to identify the differences within the cell, within the cells itself also. And here we can do this. What I'll do that, I'll copy the same, I'll paste here, and I'm going to do CHIDIST chi-square distribution, because this is the distribution. Not, you cannot apply the chi-square test because there are no such two variables are there. I want to only give the variables. Then what are x is, x have been given here, and then I want degrees of freedom. What is degrees of freedom is that degrees of freedom is calculated as n minus 1. N minus 1 is that how many number of variables are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 variables are there. 7 minus 1 is 6, and press on enter, you'll get it. Not getting, why you're not getting is that you are not being consolidated to one element, CHIDIST, and one number I'm taking here and 6 I'm taking here, and just press on enter, you'll get. You cannot do chi-square distribution. This is a chi test. The 0.085052 is a chi test. This is chi distribution. Chi distribution is only given for one variable, not the series of variables, only for one variable known as, you can see here the formula is giving like this: x for x number at so and so degrees of freedom. When you refer to the textbooks, you also get this formula called r minus 1 into c minus 1. You will get the formula these also. You can also use this formula, or you can also use n minus 1 also. The basic thing is that when you are making the one sample test, you need to apply n minus 1. When you are going for the two sample test, it means when there are two rows and columns, two rows, then two columns of data, it means x and y data are there. Then you need to go for r minus 1 into c minus 1. When you are taking only the series data of one series, then you can go for the n minus 1 directly. There are two types of things. N minus 1 is one sample test, and r minus 1 into c minus 1 is for the two samples test. What you're going to see. Okay. And this is what you're going to see for, there are two variables called chi dist is there and chi test is there. Please do remember that's I'm not being giving here. And then comes ANOVA, ANVOA. We are not going to get ANOVA here like this. I'll give you a instruction. What happens here is that whenever you install MS Office, known as MS Excel, you get in a default with a basic standards itself. But also there is an option to add in, known as to add more variables, also to add more whatever the features also. What are the additional features what you're going to install? Then those installations should be done here in the system, so that only we can perform some statistical analysis. Just follow this. Just click on the Office button here. Just click on the Excel options. Just select add-ins. Okay, just click on Excel options. Then in Excel options, we have some add-ins. Click on add-ins. Then in this, we have analysis tool pack or analysis tool pack VBA. Just press on analysis tool pack. Just press on analysis tool pack and also click on OK. It need to be installed. I have uninstalled it to show you only. I have uninstalled it. Analysis tool pack. Then click on OK. And Microsoft Excel cannot run this add-in because the current feature is not being installed here. I would like to install it. Yes. Even it prompt you anything also, no problem. No need to fear on this. No need to get fear on this. If there is if the MS Office is there as a background in your system, it will be installed. It will be configured. It will be installed over there. And then in that, whatever will be in that is that in data, it will be highlighted in the data. It has a data analysis. And in data analysis, we make some variable functions called t-test, and whatever the ANOVA is there, whatever the different types of tests are there, more than whatever the things which we are done in manually, then we can make these functions automatically by using this data analysis toolpack. Just click on the Office button and just click on the add-ins, Excel options, and click on add-ins, and then press on this so that you'll get a dialog box about the installation. Select analysis toolpack. Just press on enter. Then it will give an alert message whether to install, and click on the install, so that we'll be giving the configuration process and will be configured, and also the data analysis toolpack will be installed in your system. Just a minute. Also, we have something regarding the things, whatever the things seen here is that very easy to consider. Just practice it. Then see, automatically see a tool, a pack, a icon called a icon is presented on the ribbon. In the data ribbon, see, it is not been able to appear earlier, but here now we are going to appear here as a data analysis. You can also install there in your systems also. It is very useful tool. Just click on data analysis. See, what we can do here is that we can do ANOVA for a single factor, single V ANOVA, one V ANOVA, two V ANOVA, with replication, without replication, covariance, correlation, and descriptive statistics, F test, histograms, T test, sampling, regression, and many things are there. You can also do this. The only thing is that be sure that which type of statistical test is to be applied for the data which is available to you. Don't apply whatever the test is available. Don't apply the test. Just see which is an appropriate test, whether correlation is an appropriate test, or whether regression is a correct appropriate list, or whether the t-test is appropriate list, or whether any such chi-square or ANOVA is appropriate test. Then only apply the test. If not, do this. Okay. Just what I'm going to do is that I'm going to see t-test for two sample means. T-test for the sample means. Just select and click on OK. What it gives that variable one range. I need a variable one range. Just click on this button so that it asks to get the source from where you need to get the data range. Then I'm getting range from this. Okay, then repress on this, then go for the variable range, second variable range. I'll take the second variable range, and it asks to give one more thing. Is there any hypothesize in mean difference? If there is any hypothesize mean difference, give it. Otherwise, you can also give it as zero. No need to give, no need to touch that. Then this alpha, known as level of significance. Level of significance is that probable error, possibility of error is that 0.05 is the significance, level of significance, what you're going to see. And see, it is asking some output options where it should be printed, where it should be presented. Either in the output range, known as, if you want to give the range, give it over there, either in a new worksheet or in a new workbook, a separate book. I want in a output range in this sheet only. In this sheet only I want. Just I'm selecting the output range like this here. Just clicking on this and also click on OK. See, it is getting like this. T-test for two period sample. Just a minute. T-test for the things. What it gives is that it is giving many things. It is giving mean. See, 35.2 and 25.3. It is giving the same means, and the variances. We have done variances also. 286.44 and 343. See, 284.66. Okay. See this variance, we have done variance here 286 and 343. Here also we got 286 and 343, and observations is called n count. We got count also, then correlation 0.1 minus 0.1680 See, we have got this correlation also. Then hypothesize mean difference is 0. Degrees of freedom is 9. What I have done? 10 minus 1. I said degrees of freedom is equal n minus 1. N is 10, known as observations are 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. I have got 9. And t statistics, it is calculated value. It is calculated value is 1.15355 is the calculated value for the t-test. Calculated value for the t-test. Okay, then this is for the single tile, known as critical tile, and two tile. Two tile, if this is about the two tile, and also one tile. If you are taking the two tile, then take the two tile value here and also can count. And then this is, what is this 0 point, and what is this 0 point, and what is the 1 point. When you're comparing the calculated value, then just calculate with these two. Okay, or with this and this. Is there any significant differences is your hypothesis. And if you want to compare, as this number is greater than that number, just compare the t stat with either one tail or two tail. Either one tail or two tail. And if you want to compare, this, what is f2 tile, this is what is this and what is this. It is saying in form of 0.05 is the level of significance what you have taken. Okay, then it is for that comparison, for the level of significance comparison, it's known as p-value comparison, for value in comparison of p-value, not the t-value. T-value is calculated values, and p-value is that level of significance 0.05. If the value of 0.1392, it is more than 0.05, means there are some significant changes. Here also 0.2784. It is more than 0.05, and it is above the 0.05. So we can conclude that there are significant differences. It is more than those, so we can conclude there are significant differences. So we can write the analysis like this. There are some significant differences are available within the variables which has been analyzed. You can write the interpretation on your own based on your purposes. You can do this. This is the comparison of t values, and this is the comparison of p values. Sir, what is where is the p value? Is that we have taken the level of significance alpha value is equal 0.05. Then you can compare 0.052 with this. If you're taking the 0.10, it means 10% of level of significance also you can take on basing of your understanding. Some people will say that 0.01 is the level of significance. You can take 0.01 and also can give me the comparison. Is comparison been done by p value there, and here we're going to compare by the t value. This is for the t, yellow ones is the t value, and the red ones is for p value. You can compare in both ways. You can compare in both ways. No problem in this. You can write this, and you can just copy this table from here, and you can also paste there in the requirements. You can also paste there in the whatever the fields is there. You can paste there also. You can also paste there over there. And what you are going to do here is that I'll just also apply the same to the other fields also. I'll make the comparison between y and z also. Just see, I'll repeat it once again for the y and z also. What I'm doing is that just click on, go to the data tab, just click on the data analysis, then just click on the data known as t-test period test for the two sample means, and just click on OK. Then you'll get the ranges. What I'm doing is that I'm going to select the first range as the y and the second range as z. And if it is horizontally the data is available, you can make the horizontally. You can have vertical data also, you can vertically, but need to give a range of cells from C1 to C5, C10 to C20. You need to identify this cell range, and also you need to give hypothesized mean difference is 0 and alpha value is 0.50. If you want to insert the labels, see, click on these labels. We'll get the variable 1, variable 2 as y and z. And then output range, I'm selecting the output range here, and just click on OK, and just click on OK. See, okay, I've taken one value. It is 54 and 26. Okay, I've taken this one as a label value. No, I need to include this. Just a minute. What I've taken is that label. If you have included the label also known as C, it should be expanded to Y. It should be expanded to Y, and next it should be expanded to Z. If you're including the labels also, then click on these labels and also click on this OK, and see, this is a y, this is red to y, and this is red to z. And from here these are comparison, these are comparative. The first one is mean, variance, and also observations. These are common for each and every variable, and from here we'll make the comparison of PSS correlations, mean comparison between y and z, and mean difference and difference of degrees of freedom. All this will be compared and also will be presented here. Okay, I hope this is clear. Teachers, any doubts from this?
Sir, also tell them how these tools can be used in doing their project work, sir.
Okay, when you are doing something, when you are dealing with financial projects or finance project or marketing or HR, the only thing is that you want to compare the in comparison between previous year or this year. If you want to make the observations between the company, one company to X company to Y company, or between the branches, between one branch and the other branch, you can use this type of test. Why? Because significance test, whether this branch is working effectively or that branch is working effectively, or between the process also, between X process which is working effectively, which in Y, X and Y, and which will be the suitable things. You can also make the comparison, and you can also go for the testing of significance. And
So
this
when they take
the,
a period of time, sir, 5 years of time, they can compare for the previous year to the
they
current
can
year
compare the
also.
previous. Yes, madam. Okay. In finance, people generally they call it as a trend analysis. They can make the trend analysis. Otherwise, the trend analysis they can also apply this type of tools known as t-test in order to whether there is any such significant differences. Is there any changes has been done when compared to the previous year? If there is any changes is done, you'll get a significant value. If there is no such changes is been done, there should not be any significance. It means less than 0.05. Less than 0.05, the changes has been done. If it is more than 0.05, no changes has been done. These red color values, I'm saying about the red color values. If it is less than 0.05, there is no such differences. If it is more than, then you can change, vice versa. I'll give the synopsis of that also, whatever the things, how to apply the test also, I'll give the synopsis so that you can go through that also. Now, we also have the data analysis regarding, see this, we have done with chi-square test. Also, we have called ANOVA, analysis of variances. See, analysis of variances with single factor and two factor. It is one way ANOVA and two way ANOVA. Your wish. You can use your own ANOVA factors, single factor, two factors, and with replication. With replication is that there should be some comparison between the groups also. We call it as between groups and within groups. Within, if you want only between groups without replication. If you want also between groups, go for replication. Okay. Then I am asking for the replication. It means I need the mean squares, the sum of squares. We'll get ms over there called mean squares. I'll get sum of squares individually between the groups and also individually within the group also I need. Within the group also I need. For that I need with replication. I just click on OK. Then I'll get these things input range. Then what is input range is that I want some ANOVA for different variables or one variable also. You can take the one variable also. And just you need to give per row per sample and just output range. Output range I'm giving here. And just click on OK. What I'm getting here should be the pair. Rows per pair is means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Yeah. Yes. Just a minute. Just we'll try with one factor, then one factor, then group it by columns. Labels is not been taken. Output range is this. And click on OK. What? It will be better done in SPSS when compared to the Excel. But only the statistical things is that the one. See, single factor ANOVA we have got. See, this what I have said something. This is between the groups and within the groups. Within the groups and between the groups, and this is called MSSS called sum of squares, degrees of freedom, and MS called mean squares. And this is F value. This is the calculated value, and we are not getting the P value and critical value here. The numbers are differently done because we cannot calculate the variances here. It gives, and it's better not to use ANOVA in the Excel when you can use in the SPSS when compared between, because you have got the we have got the P value, F value here 65535, but it's very bigger in number, because the consistency of data should be, there should be consistency of data. If you have 200 or 300 sample data, then where we can compare between the groups so that we can get a clear idea. If you're only comparing with the 10 numbers or the 50 numbers, you'll not be able to get things, because it has got summary. See, 1 and 10 is average, and also 10, 15, 15, 15, 15. No such variance has been calculated here. No such variance has been calculated here. That's why we're not getting exactly here. You can go for SPSS to calculate the ANOVA in a better way. And also it's a very important technique, because in order to compare the two things, the t-test is also appropriate, but t-test can be applied only for a small sample, because below the 30 sample is called small sample, and also large sample is that for large samples you cannot apply for the t-test. Then you need to go for the ANOVA or the chi-square test. If the chi-square test is an appropriate test, between that you have some observations, some expectations, you can go for the chi-square test. If it is not possible, then go for the analysis of variance known as ANOVA. If you are going to compare the two groups of elements, then you can go for the ANOVA, and you can do this ANOVA. Okay, this is what we have thought of making the things: chi-square test, ANOVA, and also t-test. Only try to install the data analysis tab first, and after installing the data analysis tab, you can also use the things. T-test also you can use there, T-test also calculate there, and also ANOVA you can use, and many things are there. Correlation also you can use also correlation. You can also correlation. You need to input the rows, whether the rows inform the rows. If you are including labels and also labels in the first column, take labels in the first column and click on OK. You will get the rows over there and correlation over there. It's very easy to do. But if you know the direct formulas, if you know the direct formulas of CORREL or the t-test formulas, you can also directly go for the t-test formulas over there and you can done. If you want to interpret or if you want to show something as a table in form of the table, if you want to show something, then you need to go for the analysis like this, and also you can show this table, and also you can write this interpretation in form of interpretation. They mean from the given observations, it is observed that the variance is so and so, the correlation is being observed as so and so, and the high percent mean difference is so and so, with the degrees of freedom 9. Then the comparison is like this, and you can write this is a properly. Okay, and next, this is about the statistical tools or statistical functions. Next, we also have something called pivot table and also VLOOKUP. Just we'll see, I've created two more tabs here called pivot table and also VLOOKUP here. Then what is a pivot table is that you know a table easily, you know a table very well. What is a table and what is what you know. But what is a pivot table? Pivot table is a table which is used in order to make such arrangements in a customized way. In order to make your customized table, then pivot table is very useful to you. You can customize the table by making the filtering of the cells, filtering of the converting of the data from rows to column and columns to the rows. If you want to sum of values, you can make the sum of values over there, and all these things can be done using the pivot tables. Pivot table is not an additional feature. Pivot table is a basic feature which is there in Microsoft Excel. No need to install anything for the pivot table. Just click on insert option. Just click on the insert option. Then you can see this pivot table is there. If you are inserting a table, it's a common thing. The same way you are inserting a pivot table. But pivot table expresses some relationship between, some relationship between, also will be giving a customized table. Means rows can be changed to columns, columns can be changed to rows. But here, if it's a table, if you want to change the rows and columns, it takes some time. It takes some time. I need to paste these Mohan here, Raju here, and also you need to change the groceries and also places values here, and it takes some time. But using the pivot table, you can make it in seconds. No need to take for the minutes also. In seconds, you can make the customization of the table, and also you can change, you can convert the table. If your project report is been done, everything is done, still the years has to be changed to the places. Years has been given a vertical form to change it to the horizontal form, and the companies has been given in horizontal form, you need to change to the vertical form. You can use this type of pivot table format easily to make the analysis. I'm just clicking on the pivot table, just insert the pivot table. See, it automatically selecting the range or table. See, it is selecting. These are called dancing lines. These are moving. That's why it's called dancing lines. These dancing lines will be moving, shows the range of the pivot table, from which data you need to make the pivot table, and the pivot table should be performed from this data. Then what is asking whether to choose your data to be placed in your existing worksheet or the new worksheet. I want to be placed in the existing worksheet individually as a separated beside the table itself. I want to make it beside the table itself. Why? Because in order to make the comparison whether all the data is been particularly filled or not. Just click on this and just click on this. What happens here is that a pivot table dialog box. A pivot table dialog box is being inserted here. Is being inserted here. Just say this. What is this pivot table inserted box is that the table, whatever the fields are there are four fields I have taken in the table: name, product, place, and value. What I have taken is that names have taken here, but you can see this, the names are repeated. Mohan is there here, Mohan is there here, and Rajesh is there, and Rajesh is there. Repeatedly, the data has been given. Kumar is there, Kumar is there. I want to make a summary of this data. I want to make a summary of the data not to be shown individually. Then what you do is that generally you make some if formulas, or you consolidate them. They have purchased three items. You'll keep commas over there and make the total, and some total will be given over there. But using these pivot tables, no need to do all those things. Directly you can do the things. What happens here is that there are given four fields which can be filled over there. What you do is that these are the four fields which are available to you. Then you can drag this over here. What is being given here is that row labels, column labels. Row labels are there, column labels is there. What are the row labels we have been given here is that row labels is Mohan is a row label name. These are the names. These are the row labels. And what the column labels is that, see, these are the features, these are the name, product, value, and place. What I want to do is I want to change the rows to the column and column to the rows. What I'm doing here, name, actually it is in the rows. I want to be in the columns. Now I want to paste in the columns. Just drag it here. Then I want these values in the values column itself. Why? Because sum of values should be always placed, whatever the number format, that should be placed in the values column itself. And whatever the place or product is there, just you can place over in the labels like this. Automatically you can see in the background the table is being generating directly. The table is almost generating. If there is any such requirements in order to filter using the place, you can add this filter also. And even if you are not adding the place also, no problem. If you're not adding the place also, no need to get tense about that. If you want, you can add. Just click on this. See this. What it is showing. What it is showing, the column labels as the grocery, whatever the things are there here, grocery, whatever the things are there, this is a grocery is one head and grocery is repeating two times. Who has purchased this groceries? Raju purchased a grocery of 1,000. Then in grocery, Raju purchased 1,000, and also in grocery, Rajesh purchased 1,500. And see this, Raju and Rajesh as grand together, groceries is 2,050, 2,500. The expenditure being incurred on the grocery is rupees 2,500, out of which 1,000 is being incurred by Raju, 1,500 is being incurred by the Rajesh. And next, household items. 1,000 rupees is being invested by the is being expended by the Prasad, is being highlighted over there. And refreshments, two persons. Refreshments is being repeated, Kumar and also Shrikant. And how much Kumar has been invested and expended, and how much Shrikant has been expended. You can see refrigerator, TV, and washing machine. What happens here is that if you want to also customize the things, just click on these labels and you're selecting everyone. If you want to get only the field of Rajesh, if you want to get the field of only Rajesh, and click on this Rajesh and also click on this, okay, you'll get a customized table over there. What generally we do that is that we need to find the cells, we need to find the Rajesh cells, and we need to remaining hide the other cells, or we need to delete the other cells, and also we need to paste the cells, and also we need to do. But using this filter option, you can easily filter the column labels. Whatever the column labels are there, you can easily filter the column labels, and you can also filter the persons. And see this, there are grand total is called Rajesh is purchasing two things called grocery and also washing machine. When you want to get in detail, when you want to get in detail about the things, just double click on this. Just double click on this. See, there is a table, there is a new sheet being enabled here. Pivot table, and before a pivot table, there is a sheet 2 is being enabled now in order to get the details, because where you have purchased means Rajesh has purchased the washing machine in Islamabad for rupees 10,000. Even you can see I'm deleting this sheet, and when you want to see, you are in the pivot table sheet, and if you want to see something about the data about Raju and click on OK, I'll get the Raju. Okay, when I click on anywhere of this, any place, means you want to get the exact table. If you want to go to the exact table and exact particularly to that field, just double click on this. A new sheet will be popped up, a new sheet will be generated, and in the new sheet, then you can get the full detailed data is being available over there. It means that Raju, grocery, Adilabad, and also 1,000 rupees is being enabled over there. This way, we can also create the tables. This way, we can also create the tables, and also we can use the tables. And what you are doing is that only column labels are being here, and you can select the column labels and also click on here. And see this row labels, even the row labels. If you want to only get about the grocery, who has purchased a grocery, then click on this, you'll get only the grocery. And when you click on this grocery, see, when you click on this grocery, what is the total? The 1,500 is being purchased by Rajesh, and Raj is between purchased by 1,000 rupees. You can make a customized table. You can make a customized table according to your requirements. If you're making some project report on assets and liabilities, you are writing something, entering the data of all the balance sheet. If you're making making something the ratios, and if you find the ratio, if you want to find the ratio, they beyond something about the previous years also, you can make this customization of tables. You can give the ratios over there, the current assets, current liabilities, and also formulas over there, all these things, and current whatever the ratios is there, you can give the ratios. And if you want to generate a new tables from that also, or a different tables, is there any impact? You want to compare something about the assets and also ratios. You can make as row labels as columns and also column labels as can be assets has been taken one column, one side, and also ratios can be taken as other side, and you can also make an interpretation table like that also. It's very important, also very easy to do this. You can do it in a seconds, no need to take any time also. So this, I'm going to get all these things and also here and click on OK. Still, if you want to make this table more customized, then just click on the options over here. Just click on this design. Design also is there, options is also there. These are pivot table tools. I don't want to get these totals or these totals. If I want to get these totals, Kumar has expended 1550 is okay. But what is the need of getting 2500 here? Because these people, this one is an expanded different one. Rajesh is been expanded separately, and this one. I don't want to get this one. Just say this grand totals in grand totals only for on for. Then I need to go for off. I can only click one, only one. See, only on for only columns. No need to go for the rows. You can click on. If you want for all, off for, then off for rows also. Then I can go for. If you want to click for on, then you can click here. You can also make the changes of the colors of the table. You can also make this expanded and also anything. And if you want any subtotals, also you can do that. And report layout. In report layout, we have compact form and also outline form, tabular form. Compact form. See, this is a compact form. It is actually, and it is outline form. You can see this, and tabular form. You can see the margins are coming over there. Margins boxes are coming over there. You can make this your way. Only outline. No borders are there. No borders are there. And tabular, you are getting tabular, and only compact form. See, nothing is being showing over there. And still, if you want the subtotals, you can insert the subtotals also. Whatever the things are there, you can just go to the options over there, and options, you can see the options. We also have one more option called pivot table standard style options. Pivot table style options. Banded rows. Banded rows, if you select the banded rows, one column will be highlighted and another column will be left out. See, one column will be highlighted, one row will be highlighted, and one row will be exempted. In order to differentiate only, it is been accepting. And if you want also banded columns, if you don't want banded rows, if you want banded column, see, one column is been highlighting, another column is not been highlighting. If you want both banded columns and banded rows also, you can see, and you can highlight this. You can also this. When you get printed this will be very able to easily identify the differentiation between the one row to the other row. These banded columns. These banded columns are the banded rows or banded columns has to be enabled so that we can enable the differentiation between the rows and the columns. Okay. And is there any more things regarding this pivot table? You can easily see this. Just click on insert and just click on the pivot table so that directly you get a pivot table dialog box. And from this pivot table dialog box, you can select the thing. Pivot table dialog box, existing worksheet, location is here, and then click on OK. Okay, I already created this. That's why it is not been able to create this. If you delete this, then I can easily again create this pivot table. Then existing worksheet, and here I'm been locating and click on OK. See, I'm getting the same fields. You can place any fields over there. Also, you can do these things. Okay. And next, we come across the VLOOKUP features. VLOOKUP is vertical lookup. We have also horizontal lookup, but generally we prefer vertical lookup. What is vertical lookup is that, see, I have given a description of this. Generally, it's a database. It is being a database. Assume it as a database, because when you go to a medical shop, when you go to a grocery shop, number of items will be listed over there with the database. All the items what they are selling, with among the description about the prices, description on the goods, price of a product, description on quantity available, and also price and rate. Under the division, they make it as a division. This is under the grocery, this is under the retail, this is under the electronics, this is under something. And you have made all the description in the form of Excel sheet. But when you generate, what they do is that they write a program background, they write a background program over there. And when you go to the pharmacy store, what they are doing is they just enter the name ANU, the medicine name. If they enter and just press on the enter, then they'll get the price of the product over there, and they'll make a billing process. The same way, in order to make the things done, We are not using any coding, we are not using any programming, we are not using anything. Just we are using enabling 4 steps to get the price of any product which are in the list, which is in the list. Whatever the product is there, I have been listed with some products. Known as our product, I have listed 9 products here. To get the price of any product, just I need to enter the name of a product, then I will get the price of the product directly. And then for that, the VLOOKUP function will be helpful in that getting the things done. Then what is this is that, see, I have created this, but I will remove this and also I will create here. I'm creating the VLOOKUP function here. See, VLOOK lookup, then open the braces. It is asking 4 things called lookup value. The first one is lookup value. It means from which table or from which column. When you enter the name or the column where you are entering the name is the first one, lookup value. The second one is table array. What is table array? It means whole total table. We need to give the total array, known as range of the table from C1 or A1 to Z1 or A2 to Z2 or whatever the range is there, you give the range. And the third one is column index number. Whether you want the price of the column, price of the product, in which column it was enabled. In which column it was enabled. It means either first column or second column, third or fourth or fifth column. In your table, which column the price was enabled. Then range lookup. And what is the range lookup is that which category, under which category is that 1 or 2 is there. I'll show 1 or 2. False approximation, round error say false is 1 and true is 1. True approximation, approximate approximation is there. Just we'll see. First, I want when I enter the name here, when I want to enter the name over here in this cell, I need to get the lookup value price over there. Then I'm just pressing on the comma. Then I'm selecting the range of the table. The range of the table is like this. Then comma, column index. I said you that the column, in which column the price is there. This is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third, and this is the fourth. In fourth column, the price was enabled. Just press 4. Comma. See this, approximate match or exact match. I need an exact match. I need an exact match. So click on this exact match, FALSE, and also close the braces and sorry is equal to we look up okay, then this one comma and the table array, then 4 comma 1 is true and 2 is false and exact match. Then this false, I can come. This for see what I'm changing is that the format is this F1. I'm taking the F1 here, F1, and the table range is A52. A52. See, this is selecting A52 and E13. E13 is selecting, and the table value is 4. The table value is 4. We are going to select the table value. The column index number 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one is a price, and we are taking the false as a thing, and just press on enter. It is not been accepting. See, when I have done it already. Just a minute. It is not been. It is showing as any. When you write here, when you copy the word refrigerator and when you press the refrigerator here, see the price is being able to display. See, VLOOK lookup, open the braces, then face the value in which we are going to enter the text. Next, cell the table array. Then the index value is 4. Index number is 4, means the fourth column, and the true or false, and it gives NA. When it will be highlighted is that when you enter a column value, when you paste some function or some word here, then you can see this. The soap's value is so and so. The soap's value is so and so. The table value is so and so, and whatever the values we required, and we are going to get the value. See, I have done it in the default way. Then refrigerator, I will replacing with television. Television value is 7,500. See, 7,500. But the spelling should be exactly done. If I have done something a mistake in the spelling, hand wash, then I'm not going to get. Then the spelling was hand washes. Then I'm going to get the price over here. I'm going to get the price over here as 50. And then if you want to write something as stools, see I'll get the stools as 250 is the prices. I'm going to get the 250. And whatever the thing is that's why the spelling is very crucial. The spelling is needs to be correctly identified and also correctly to be placed over there so that easily can be enabled and also easily can be presented over there. This is what we are going to see in the VLOOKUP function. Then any doubts from this? Madam, something about statistical formulae, pivot table, and also VLOOKUP. Any doubts from this?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Then I'll send the same sheet to you. Like yesterday, I've sent the same sheet. I'll send the same sheet along with some material. Just follow this and also just make this. If you have any doubts, also you can ask me tomorrow. I can also spare some time on this also.
Students, if you have any doubts, you can ask to sir. Any kind of queries. And sir is sending material day wise. He's forwarding the material in the group. I request all the participants to practice the things because if you practice, you can remember them for a longer time. Otherwise, workshop will be meaningless. Okay? Because when you do your project work, all these things are helpful for you. Okay, students? And if you have any doubts, you can ask to sir on the following day. Sir is ready to clarify all your doubts. I hope everybody has understood, sir.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
We should go with that hope.
Yes, madam. Hmm. Okay, madam. We shall wind up and we shall meet back again tomorrow at the same time.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay, madam.
participants. And remember, tomorrow we have a webinar at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. So do join the webinar 10 minutes before. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. I'm insisting once again, students, please do practice all those things, sir, which sir has sent to you. And if you have any kind of doubts, please note them and ask the sir on the following day. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam.
So,
Thank you.
shall we wind up the session, sir?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
Shravandi, madam. Thank you, students. See you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Shanti, madam. Like,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
okay, madam. Thank you. Bye.
Sir, I forgot for a
Madam,
photograph.